welcome back to Sitting with Ashley. I'm gonna move my mouse. Lucy just made my other reading cut short because she stepped on my computer. Anyway, good morning. We're gonna do a collective check-in. I've been marketing from Walmart. You bought a canopy, buy some canopy waves. No. Anyway, we're gonna do a collective check-in using Yin Yang. I'm recording this on Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And remember, you would not exist without a mother. And we should destroy the patriarch. Okay. Thank you. And that is all. Watching Angels and Airwaves live so that I can get my Tom DeLonge fix. Also, we got a special visitor. This is Mama from the alley. She's in heat, and I couldn't get her in for her surgery until July, so I am hiding her in here right now. We are not in need of any more babies. And the boys are around. Okay, we've got... It's a really weird sound. It's supposed to be like a heart. Well, unfortunately, we don't have great spread so far. So, hi, Shadow Aspects. Let's do it. Okay, we're gonna start with here, and I'm gonna keep pulling, but right now, I think we're in a season of planting seeds and growth, which if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, yes, we are in the spring, summer time. We also have confusion and illusions, so maybe we're going through some of that while also isolating and thinking about stuff. We could be experiencing some sort of temptation or deception. Maybe that was in the past. I'm getting past energy around that. Maybe that's what caused this confusion, and maybe that's what you're isolating and thinking about. Maybe you're thinking about the ways that made you project on others, and you're like reflecting on that, because things are starting to turn around. We've got a renewal and spark. So I'm gonna keep pulling, but that's what came out so far. Let's do a couple more shuffs. 7-13. I have a lot of people in my life who have birthdays this week. Taurus, my mother included, and I will not be saying happy birthday to her because we're no contact. But I think about it, and I think it's unfortunate that she tried to kill me so many times. Happy birthday. Thank you for the life that you tried to take. Okay, let's get... Alright, yeah, we have receive open, present, abundant, gratitude, breakthrough, family, commitment, avoidance, and stalemate. Anything else? Get like 3 rows. I met Tom DeLonge when he was touring with Angels and Airwaves. I've never met Blink-182 all together. I've just met Travis and Tom in 2 different settings. In case you were wondering. It's an important fact of my life. We've got celebration, gifts, and abundance. Try to stay in that energy. Oh, I've got some bullshit coming through. Alright, I'm gonna keep pulling the bullshit. And then we'd like to do the problems and then the solutions. Let me pull these out. Uh-oh. have earth energy here. It doesn't necessarily need to be an earth sign. I was just talking about all my Taurus buds. But that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's a water sign. I get along really well with earth signs for the most part. Except female Taurus. Everyone else I'm cool with. I have a hard time with all females. It doesn't really matter their zodiac. Anyway, we have toxicity bound in patterns. And with that, we also have... I guess I'm going to leave this here. Okay, we have avoidance and stalemate. We have party external. And then, because of all these nasty energies, the universe is serving you some karma on a silver platter in the form of a tower moment. You or someone else. It depends on why you're reading or why you're watching this. The good news is, I would say throughout this... Okay. Hang on. Oh, fuck. Turned our heater off and our swamp cooler on, but it's still very cold in the mornings. Okay. What thoughts are you trying to drown in partying? Or what external validation are you trying to seek from others when you know damn well that you are avoiding your own shadows? Don't do that. Okay? I'm really distracted right now. I don't know why. There's this confusion and illusions, avoidance and stalemate, and then there's family, home, and commitment in a column. If you don't know how I set them out like this. And there are some, like, standing up. So you've got 3 rows, 6 columns of 3, which is what, 18? 18 boiled down is a 9. And 9 is a very divine number. So pay attention. I know this is really not a good reading. There's like an energy of fog. Like the connections that I'm usually able to make are being like disconnected, which is not my energy. So seeds, spring, renewal, spark, present, abundant, and gratitude. So whatever things that you're working on, if you are in the northern hemisphere, it's like springtime right now, but you don't have to be, okay? I read for the planet. Whatever seeds, metaphorically that you're putting down, allow the space to be able to grow into what they are, right? Allow that renewal, and maybe be inspired by it, whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be a plant. It can be an idea, a relationship, an end of a cycle too. It doesn't have to be, a seemingly positive aspect. It can also be the acknowledgement of a more devious energy, right? Present, abundant, and gratitude. Staying in that space of gratitude. I just did a grief and gratitude reading yesterday, and it feels very much like it's feeling a lot harder right now to stay in a space of gratitude. It's a lot easier to be swept up in this negativity that we're seeing at like a global scale. It's a lot easier to be swept up within whatever toxicity and patterns. Yes, it's always easier to choose to avoid stuff, to party it away, to be swept up by temptation, to isolate ourselves, to allow our rose-colored glasses and the idea of illusions to go. It is easier to do those things, but what's not easier is doing that consistently and then being met with like forced moments from the universe to release yourself from whatever toxic patterns you need to release yourself from. Remember, you do have free will, but the universe is going to step in when you're abusing that free will to get you back on track, right? To serve you some sort of epiphany or breakthrough in regards to your own behavior, your own growth, allowing yourself to work through these energies without doing harm to others, right? But without projecting this stuff on others. Staying in this energy of groundedness, right? Oh, God. Wherever you are, you're tired. Yeah, the energy feels hazy. I already said fog, but it feels hazy. It feels like nostalgia, but like not the good nostalgia. Like being stuck in memories of harm or abuse, or, you know, feeling sorry for ourselves, being in this victim mentality. That's what this energy feels like. Instead of focusing on the seeds and the growth, like, yeah, those are the two main energies in the beginning, but then we have a lot of shadow aspects. I'm thinking of that saying right now, they tried to bury us, but they didn't realize we were seeds, or they didn't know we were seeds. So being able to grow through these patterns or feelings, yeah, you guys are going through it. Maybe you're decolonizing. I have put a ton of stuff together for people who are doing shadow work, or decolonizing work, or inner child healing, which is that nostalgia. Maybe there's something that happened to you at home. The first reading I did today about celebrating femininity, there was also a column of that, which it was something along the lines of a father and home. I don't remember the first energy, but to me it was giving some sort of negative energy of like, you know, either SA or molestation or abuse from a father figure. So if that's resonating with you, perhaps you are a masculine person or masculine presenting energy. Energy is not anatomy. It doesn't really matter what's between your legs or who you like. What matters is how we balance our masculine and feminine, because we each have all of those, or both of those, within us. Our feminine is our left side of the body, that is the being energy of just being, receiving, and also darkness, acknowledging our darkness, whereas the masculine is the right side of our body, that is the action, the doing, the expansion, and the like light energy, which under patriarch it's very ass backwards. So yeah, Lucy agrees. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, staying grounded in gratitude will help you through this. And again, I did that video yesterday about holding grief and gratitude together as we're experiencing this stuff. You are being supported by spirit guides, and you're being encouraged to allow this relationship to support you through what this is, in order to get to this point of wish fulfillment. I want to also just remind you that whatever you're going through, if you are choosing to heal yourself, this is a lifestyle change. It's not like a few months and then you're done and you go back to how you were. No. This is a complete shift in how you exist. And maybe that's the part that you're having a hard time with. I don't know. I mean, it's different for everyone watching. This is a collective reading. But there's definitely some sort of muting that you are doing to yourself through, habits, behaviors, actions, thoughts, whatever it is for you. I want you to know that it's pretty normal to do that when you're presented with things that are difficult, especially in this society. New truths about the world around you and about yourself, and as you're doing healing work about the things that happen to you that you maybe have repressed, it's pretty normal to pull on or rely on drinking and smoking and mind-altering things to avoid emotions, because emotions have very much been criminalized and pathologized in our society. So it's not really a safe place to feel. And so if you are going through that, I want you to know that I validate that experience within you. And also I'm encouraging you to be really strong through this. Allow yourself to get through it. Allow yourself to do the work. And it gets easier. Like I said, it's a lifestyle change and shift. But I have ego deaths every time I interact with another human at this point in my life. The first couple, I ended up incarcerated, fought people, did some gnarly shit. But now it's just like anytime I have an interpersonal interaction, I reflect on it and I'm like, what could I do better? Was I kind of a dick? Was I, I do an inventory and it's just second nature at this point in time, but it hasn't always been like that. I was known as Smashly in my undergrad. I really loved to party. And now I don't like people and I hang out with cats. Two things can be true at the same time. I would love, I'd love to kick it with some folks, but at this point in time, I say this all the time too, as you have these epiphanies and breakthroughs in your healing process, as you continue taking the high road, eventually you've created your own road that no one else is on, right? Not that you're better than anyone, but just that you exist in a different way. I mean, that's very real, right? I talk to the universe more than I talk to others. And animals are also through this, right? What is your wish fulfillment? What do you want for yourself? I would say the first and last cards of this, the first card being seeds, the last cards being wish fulfillment. All of this other stuff in between is just part of the process. So what do you want? What seeds are you going to plant for yourself? And a part of that is also acknowledging that you yourself have some growth, right? We have this earth energy again with growth. I would say really be planting yourself on the earth, like grounding yourself through this process. That'll help alleviate some of the self-deprecating energies. And remember, I mean, I don't know what you believe religiously, but I'm going to say this as a saying. It's not something that I believe religiously, but the devil works in crazy ways, right? I know that's not like the actual saying. But in the ways of partying, you know, there's always a balance, again, within that masculine and feminine, there's always that dark and light. So sometimes when we are, you know, sticking to our goals and doing our daily discipline and things like that, sometimes we can feel like it's okay to like start doing, you know, something else, like drinking or smoking, or, you know, I can have a cigarette right now. And then we, you know, start to be, we allow the balance to like become imbalanced. And so with this party external here, it feels like there's that as a coping mechanism. It doesn't feel like something that's fulfilling. It feels like something that we are doing to avoid all of these other feelings. And I just want to caution you on having that discipline and moderation with whatever that is for you, so that you don't, I mean, it's okay to do those things, but you want to get yourself out of that pattern. You want to break free, right? We have nothing to lose but our chains. And with so much darkness around us at this global scale, it's important that we not give our power away to those entities or energies, right? And if we do, this is a column right here. Part of this is talking about deception and temptation, right? We don't know what's under the water, okay? We don't know the depth of what that looks like, right? Again, that devil works in mysterious ways. Deception is a big one that I don't really believe in the devil, but like evil entities are definitely real. And so I believe that energetically, yeah, deception is a big one. Temptation is a big one. And as humans, we have free will to make those decisions. And so even when you are graduated from certain levels of growth, you know, like I said, this is a lifestyle change. You're always going to have these cycles come up, but how you navigate them is what changes, right? So your spirit guides are more than likely going to give you opportunities of great change if and when there is an imbalance within your dark and light. And that's karma. It's not going to be fun, and it's going to be hard until you learn your lesson and get out of the cycle. Where, you know, when presented with it again, it's not even a thing anymore. You're like, no. Like smoking. I quit smoking 1 year ago, give or take. I also cut my mom off 1 year ago. I quit coffee a couple years ago. But now I'm like drinking beer. I'm like, why? I don't know. But it's something I'm working through right now. I mean, I like it, but I don't need it. And so it's just like, I don't want to do that anymore for myself. And, you know, I'm not at a point of needing a tower moment, but I am in this thought piece, right? Of like, why am I doing this? You know? And so I want you to recognize how easily it can be to get knocked off of your balance when you are pursuing things that are benefiting your growth. Again, because most of the energy that surrounds us is not living like that. I mean, point blank period. Most people are stuck in unconscious cycles of consumerism, of toxicity, of bullshit. And when we are surrounded by that by so much, we can find ourselves getting pulled back into that. I always talk about the crabs in a barrel. Like once you start elevating, people are going to want to pull you back down. So being conscious of those things is the first step to, planting new seeds, to growth, to keeping yourself grounded, to reaching this wish fulfillment. If it's not I'm talking to myself too at this point, if it's not something that's going to be beneficial to, your 10-year plan, your 5-year plan, your where you want to be by the end of this year, allow it to go. And do it with the least resistance possible so that you don't have to put yourself through tower moments where you get knocked down. Allow yourself to release what no longer serves and continue to plant the seeds and allow yourself to grow. Again, I say all the time, we are like the trees. We grow always, always. So A-L-L ways and A-L-W-A-Y-S always. So again, with this earth energy, ground yourself. Maybe you're being called to work with more earth elements. Hug the trees, work with crystals. You can put like dirt in jars and shit and herbs, the plants. I think earth needs a lot of love right now as well. So the more we can give to the earth and respect the earth, like as a planet, recognizing that reciprocity within that relationship. I know that was a lot of R-E words, but here's another one. Rewriting what that means to be a part of nature. Like, we're all alive. Allowing that relationship for earth within us as well. Again, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. And this epiphany breakthrough is definitely giving, like, when the seed comes through the soil. And it's coming, oh my god, it's coming, okay, I think I finally got the fucking point. It's coming through under this. So there's like this, okay, so growth, toxicity, patterns, and bound, whatever's keeping you bound, like breaking through, right? That's cute. I'm inspired to do my planting today. We've been trying to do it the past couple days, but Niall hasn't been excited about it, so I'm gonna plant my seeds today. Personally, I'm gonna be focusing on greens and herbs, because I don't really think I can maintain anything else, and I don't want to waste. We might do some potatoes and peppers, but I don't know. I got one tomato last year. I forgot to harvest my potatoes last year, so I'm not trying to be wasteful, especially in these times, but I would encourage you all to start a victory garden. Just a reminder, we're in another world war. We get to live through it, so and we have a lot of really good stuff for our shorts today, so come back for those. And if you are in a relationship with your mother, or if you have mothers around you, remind them of a happy Mother's Day. It is a very thankless job and non-stop, so have a good one.